Okay. We're waiting just a minute here, guys, so talk amongst yourselves for just another minute. All right, I think we're good to go. Yeah. There's some Okay, guys, we're going to go ahead and get started here. A couple of notes. One group has a video embedded that is going to have the same issue that the other one had. We're going to be very quiet to be able to hear anything at all out of that video. We're going to go ahead and play that. So we're going to hear about cell phones, and we're actually going to start with the con group. We switched up sides this time just to not make everybody think that's always pros, this is always con. So we're switching up the next couple presentations. This side will be the cons, and these guys will be the pros over here. And so we're going to start with the pro side. So please give them a warm welcome.
Hi, I'm Jonah. This is Caleb. This is Anna. And this is Willow. Many local high schools are struggling with a device that continues to work its way into the classroom, cell phones. Some schools have proposed a complete and total ban on all cell phones during the academic hours. However, due to the many positive features and benefits that cell phones have to offer, we find this to be a bad idea. The arguments we will address today include teacher and student communication, access to information, educational apps, and responsibility building.
Cell phone technology has improved drastically since car phones were invented in the 1980s. What was once viewed as a luxury few could afford has become something that many people own and like to operate every day.
All right, hello, I am Mafet. It's my partners Cash, Trayvon, and we also have Emma, who unfortunately couldn't make it. Cell phones have a large impact on schools due to the 73% of students who own a cell phone in class. Due to the widespread use of mobile phones, school boards around the nation have considered banning them entirely. Regular phone use leads to lowering grades, hinders social development, can expose students to inappropriate or harmful content, and can limit the budget use.
vital to academic growth and basic understanding of education. According to a study done by University, when a student is able to speak with their teacher, they are more academically successful than those who do not. In addition to this, they are overall more satisfied with the learning process in general. Another study conducted by Balsey proved that students who shared their opinions and emotions had an easier and more comfortable with presenting information to the class. Lastly, a study done by University's Department of Education proves that students were able to retain information easier after receiving the cell. With the support of the cell phone, this form of communication can be made practically effortless. Via email or text messaging, one can quickly receive answers to a question or concern they might have.
Regular cell phone use is linked to poor social health and development, which results in social inability and anxiety, which can affect student learning in the classroom, as well as affect future prospects, such as the ability to get a job. A study done at Connecticut College of students ages 18 to 23 measures social skills with the social skills inventory, which evaluates strengths and weaknesses in verbal and nonverbal communication skills. Participants with a higher preference for communicating in online settings had much lower social skill scores than those with a lower preference for visual communication. Participants who felt more him or herself online and more understood, as well as preferred online communication, mostly had low social skill scores. Additionally, participants who claimed to have household limits on technology as children had much better social skills, as well as better emotional and social expressivity than those without limits on technology as children. Therefore, a cell phone ban should be implemented in schools because of the poor social health effects associated with their use, as well as the benefits of limiting such technology.
When used properly, the access to information that cell phones provide can be beneficial to students in many ways. During appropriate times of the day, curious students can find answers to any question they might have, or research deeper about a topic to expand their learning. Information is at the touch of a finger. Cell phones can also open up opportunities for shy students to find answers to questions that they may not feel comfortable asking in class. For example, if a teacher uses a term that a student doesn't understand, they can find a definition quietly without being disrupted. A study conducted by the Pew Research Center showed that 78% of students actually prefer digital course material. And when a computer or laptop is not available, cell phones provide easy access to this service. Students can even use cell phones to find ways to get involved in activities and programs that pertain to their interests, such as a STEM or writing program. Therefore, it is important that we take advantage of the access to information provided by cell phones.
In case you can't hear, her argument is about lowering grades.
The educational benefits of cell phones lie far beyond just the internet. Platforms such as the Apple App Store, the Google Play Store, and others encourage this cause by selling various educational apps. Collectively, there are about 1.2 million apps available for download. Of that number, over 150,000 are educational and or reference-based. We're seeing an explosive growth of educational apps directly in the classroom. For example, Google Apps for Education has been seeing a growth rate of about 41% over the past several years. And it's expected that the platform will have a user base of about 110 million by 2020. Educational apps have a strong presence when students go home as well. In a recent study conducted by the nonprofit Common Sense Media, over 25% of parents have purchased educational apps for their kids to use. Basically, the pairing of educational apps with cell phones will only increase as time goes on. Therefore, we should not hold students back from the many valuable features that these impressive apps have to offer.
Use of cell phones in schools increases the chance of accessing inappropriate content and exposure to online dangers such as child predators and online bullying. And this can be reduced with the ban of cell phones. Students may access things online that are inappropriate for their age and stage of development. This is why 63% of students believe that accessing inappropriate content online accidentally is an issue. Cyberbullying is also another issue that students may come across while online. A 2011 study by the journal Children in Society found that 42% of students that are heavy cell phone users perpetrate acts of cyberbullying, compared to just 18% of non-heavy users. The other online danger is online predators. 1 out of 7 students are receive unwanted sexual solicitations from online predators, compared to just 20% of 20% of students are preyed upon at some point. Therefore, cell phones should be banned in schools due to the increased chance of accessing inappropriate content and availability to online gamers.
Cell phones are not only a tool, but a responsibility that all students should have access to. According to a Pew Research Center study, nearly 75% of students have access to cell phones. Completely banning cell phones would not only be impractical, but it would be unwise, as it would not help students build responsibilities that could be used later in life, in college, or in the workforce.
In an interview with Mr. Bolso, an OCHS counselor with a master's degree in education, he described to me the program known as OCHS Freshman Academy. This program was made for students who failed throughout middle school to help them get back on the board and improve their grades. This program uses roughly $175,000 in just 3 teacher salaries, along with additional school supplies. Although this program does not directly benefit us, by implementing a ban on cell phone use, grades have been proven to improve by 11.23% of standard deviation at the University of Texas at Austin by Dr. Murphy. With the improved grades on low-achieving students, this program would not be necessary, and the previous ones used some activities towards flood funding, future funding, or just better school supplies. In conclusion, implementing a ban on cell phone use will lead to a chain reaction of greatly improving grades on low-achieving students, making these programs unnecessary.
By allowing students access to the limitless information of the internet and educational apps, cell phones can play a useful role in the modern classroom. The ability for a student and teachers to communicate is beneficial, and the responsibility-building nature of cell phones can permit uses to empower the day's youth. Because so many students have access to cell phones, a complete ban in schools is both impractical and unnecessary. The potential advantages of using cell phones in schools far outweigh the drawbacks. Thank you.
Regular and constant cell phone use can be harmful to students and affect their academic success. This includes poor social health and development, exposure to inappropriate or explicit materials, and online danger and lower grades. Additionally, school money spent on struggling students could be spent elsewhere if cell phones and the accompanying distractions were eliminated from the classroom. Some may say that mobile technology is the future of the classroom. However, capabilities of mobile phones utilized in the classroom can also be achieved with school-owned technology, such as touchscreen tablets. Schools have similar operating systems and access to mobile applications to allow the school to limit censorship technology. Therefore, a cell phone ban should be implemented.
So I actually have a couple of questions. One, and either group can answer this. How should schools deal with the use of cell phones during school hours to harass or intimidate other students. And I'm going to say that I know from experience that it does happen, in which students will use a phone to take a picture of somebody without their knowledge, send it to other people, and by the time that person gets to the other side of the building, people are waiting to harass them. How would you think schools should deal with that if phones were allowed to be in schools?
I would believe that a student should be punished the same way if they were harassing a student using a cell phone as they would be if they were harassing a student in person.
So then the question is, how do they catch everybody? I mean, so the thing is, what happens here is that you have to know who sends it. Because it's not like the person's getting the text. What happens is they come around the corner and people are waiting for them.
A complete cell phone ban in school would prevent students being able to take those pictures in the first place. While if they use school and technology, they can still access educational apps and whatnot, but they would not be able to use their own personal social media accounts and whatnot to take pictures of other students and to cyberbully.
And then the other question I have has to do with if there isn't a ban, do you believe that cell phones should be free use in the classroom, or that cell phones should be surrendered and then retrieved when appropriate for classroom use?
I believe it would depend on the teacher. Like I know, like some classes, there's no reason for a cell phone to be out. But if you're in history, then it makes sense to Google something that's related to the topic.
I believe that a ban can really be implemented. It could be a reward system, so a student who has a decent GPA and gets their work done, has no work due, on that free time they may be able to use their cell phone. If not, it may be confiscated.
Very good.